In today's class, we'll be learning the do's of descriptive writing essay. Number one is the show, not tell technique. Yes, you heard it all, you know it all, but still you don't know how to apply it, or sometimes you end up using the telling way. I was scared. You are telling the reader that the character feels scared. How about that my throat tightened and I slowed my steps? Now, this way, I'm showing through my characters' body language, through their gestures, through their facial expressions, through their movements. I will be able to show that they are feeling scared. It's an easy technique. It's the best technique to begin with. Take 5 examples at a time and transform them. Write the telling sentences, change them into showing way, and I'm sure you will get it right. Number two, you use specific details. Now, this is very important, very crucial. Just by stating that there is a dog, there's a car, there is a room, is not going to help. It's not descriptive at all. When I say there is a dog, what kind of a dog? Where is he? What condition is it? So when I say a scabby dog, now some scabby means something which is very unpleasant, something which is very unappealing, crouching by the drain, one ear torn. So the reader can infer that the dog is not in the best possible health conditions. This way, it is very important for you to give away specific details for the reader to understand, to comprehend what you as a writer want to convey. Number three is focusing on one mood at a time. Yes, imagine I'm writing scary, exciting, funny all together in one sentence itself. Without doing justice to each and every one is definitely going to lack in clarity, and we don't want to compromise uh, on clarity no matter what happens. So instead, take one emotion at a time and develop it completely, and develop it in a very simple way. You don't really need to make it dramatic each time. A dull unease following me a dull unease followed me down the empty road. Now, of course, if it's an empty road, all you are surrounded by the air and the atmosphere, then does make it very hostile. So. And make you feel uneasy. Very simple way of writing, but gives you exactly the idea of the mood that you wish to convey. Number four is the zoom in technique. Very, very important. Just by stating your objects, your nouns, is not going to help. You need to really zoom in and associate it with how it makes the character feel when they are there in that in that atmosphere. So a mirror lay in the corner of the room. It's not really giving a sense, an exact sense of how you feel. A cracked mirror reflected my face in pieces. Probably the character is going through a bad phase in their life, and this way the mirror can be metaphorically used to show how the character feels. So use a zoom in technique to digress more into how the character is feeling at this juncture, and make sure that the readers also feel the same through your description. Now, the next one is using all the 5 senses. Yes, uh, what are those 5 senses? Yes, the primary ones are visual, tactile, gustatory, your auditory, and your olfactory. Now, these are the five imageries, 5 types of imageries, and the 5 senses, of course, the sight, smell, hear, touch, and what you taste. And these are the senses that we must incorporate in our descriptive writing paragraph or an essay. So, when this was it's a very simple, it's a sentence. I saw the street. Now, what now? to incorporate these imageries. You can either have two at a time in the same sentence, or you can do one imagery at a time. Like here, the hot tar stuck to my shoes and horns blaring beside me. Now, the two imageries I've used here, one is tactile and the other one is auditory. Both are giving me an idea that the place is unpleasant, that the place is very hot and unbearable to be there. So, using these five senses will definitely balance, will give you that edge which you require in a descriptive essay. Number six is choosing strong verbs. Choosing strong verbs that fit to what you want to convey, not just write them to impress your English teacher, to your examiner. No, makes no sense. If they do not fit in there, they they sound very off. In fact, it can have a negative impact on the teacher who is reading, who is assessing your descriptive writing essay, descriptive essay. So please do it as it is required. Yes, these verbs will help you navigate the through the emotion that you want to convey. Now, for example, when I said the door open was open, but what kind of a door? What it was a the door sagged and groaned as I pushed it. So it shows that the door was very old, dilapidated, in a very bad condition, and so this way, these sagging and groaning are more used for humans, wherein the door is an inanimate object. So if I am using it for the door, is to show, to convey that the door is actually very, very old, and making that creaking sound. So I can use imageries, of course, and I need to use strong verbs to make sure that I'm giving away exactly what the reader must imagine. Moving on to the next one, use figurative language sparingly. Now, sparingly, yes, very important. Overdoing makes no sense. Listing out your figurative devices in one corner again is another a very useful exercise. Now, I'll give you a very simple acronym to remember them. Shampoo, yes, we must shampoo for to write an effective descriptive writing, descriptive essay. S, simile. H is your hyperbole, alliteration, M is for metaphor, P is your personification, onomatopoeia, and oxymorons. Make a checklist. Use one by one. Don't overuse similes and metaphors and personification, because that's what comes easily to you. The more you apply all figurative devices, every paragraph, you will get into the rhythm of using them often. So fog wrapped the street in a damp blanket. It's this is not too much here. It's a very simplified way of saying that the entire street was foggy and dampness. Enveloped it or covered it. Dampness was all over. So do it. You can do without them also. Not necessarily every time you need to use a figurative device. So learn and observe. And even when you read descriptive essays, make sure you identify, you annotate all the figurative devices used, and even see how without using them you can still make your descriptive writing, a descriptive essay impressive. And the next one is planning. Yes, planning is very, very crucial to writing a good descriptive. List the place, the mood, the details, the figurative devices, the imagery, everything. List every possible thing before you start writing. And this practice will help you. This practice, doing it again and again, will help you get the rhythm right. And once you get it right, you don't need to, trust me, you don't need to plan. It will flow automatically. So I hope these do's help you. Write a better descriptive essay than the way you used to. Thank you. In today's class, we'll be learning the do's of descriptive writing essay. Number one is the show, not